Not everything must be beautiful and good. You need to apply some damage to your brain with our game. Thank you very much.
What's up, guys? Nolan here, and today is a video that will be short but filled with spoilers while asking a lot of questions and not getting many answers since we're right in the middle of the story, but the topics that we got today need to be discussed as long as you don't mind the spoilers. On top of that, this is going to help people understand what they're getting into when they want to go through the grind to Lightkeeper. That is because Lightkeeper is the end game. People have now gotten Kappa while trying to get through his tasks. People were always confused about what the end game for Tarkov was, and now we have our answer. It's Lightkeeper. Only question is, what does he want and what might happen if we help him? Well, we might have some very good ideas now, but they are spoilers. So from this point on in the video, it will be Lightkeeper task spoilers along with what I think will be a few surprises from BSG at some point down the road. So from this point on, spoiler warning, spoiler warning. If you don't want Lightkeeper spoilers, click off now. For those who are still here, remember if you like this video, there's a button for that. Subscribe for more like it, or jump in the comments and let me know what you think about all this. So starting off with the two spoiler topics for today. Number one is there is radioactive material inside the lighthouse. Yes, that lighthouse. While number two is there is a second secret lab location underneath the mountain on woods, but we don't know who owns it yet. More on that in a minute. First up, we have this clip right here from Axel when we were exploring the lighthouse location the other day. In case you are wondering, anyone can do this as long as you bring enough friends with you. You can ease your way through the minefield on the bridge, then at least a couple of you should still be alive at the end.
No, it does say radioactive. Yeah, it does say, it says like, be careful, it's radioactive. Radio signal, no, radiation.
Now, according to Axel, this says, be careful, it's radioactive. And that is on the side of Lighthouse, which is Lightkeeper's house. So, Lightkeeper is screwing around with radioactive materials in some way, shape, or form. For those who don't know, there's also a large hermetic door bunker at the base of the lighthouse as well. On the door of that bunker, it says further dash worse, meaning if you keep walking further or if you go past this door, it will get worse. Generally speaking, your life is going to be worse if you pass this door. That was translated by Axel as well. Turns out we might have been onto something with our Lightkeeper nuke theory a while back. I will say though, it's not a crazy prediction or anything. It's just understanding the lore and making the connections. The cult wants to bring back the blue flame that they worship. That was actually an EMP. While EMPs are commonly byproducts of nukes, Lightkeeper is a very powerful man with clear ties to the cult, if not running the cult himself. This dude's probably running the cult, so it makes sense if he is that he will want to get his hands on an EMP, which means he might have a nuke ready to go already, or at least something very close to that. Maybe he's still building it or something. There is no proof yet, but the storyline with Lightkeeper is just getting started, and the breadcrumbs are starting to fall that very well could lead us to Lightkeeper trying to fulfill his prophecy, aka the cult's prophecy, of bringing back the blue flame, aka the EMP, aka a nuke. Speaking of the Lightkeeper storyline, two of his quests directly describes the possibility of a terror group facility under the mountains on woods. It's not super clear that it is terror group, but first we learned that USEC is connected to these sites, which I am not sure if the quest changes if you are USEC, and I'd like to get that confirmed as soon as possible. I think it's unlikely they are different if you play as USEC, but maybe it's at least worded differently. Not sure yet. Also, we're jumping into the middle of the storyline of these quests from Lightkeeper here, so it might be a bit confusing, but he does clearly say, it seems that the customer is not from around here, as I initially assumed. The order came from beyond the border. Now, what he's talking about here is something that happens with the other quests, which we're not going to go into crazy detail with right now. And what he means by beyond the border is outside of Tarkov. It's the Tarkov exclusion zone. Also, real quick, in case you guys don't know, the rest of the world outside of Tarkov in lore is completely normal. Everything's completely fine. Everybody's living their life normally. The only place that is screwed up is this region. It's the Norvinsk region. So somebody outside of Tarkov was working with somebody inside of Tarkov. And if we continue with this lore from Lightkeeper, he then says, I have contacts who are willing to assist, but they will need a favor in return. They own a certain, shall we say, facility located in the Perversky, I'm not going to be able to say that correctly, natural reserve, aka that's woods. You can see the facility from everywhere, but nobody has a clue what is hiding under the mountain. If you've been in those places, you must have seen the hill that towers over the entire forest. That's a bit of a typo there / mistranslation, but you should get the point. If you've been to woods, then you'll know what that hill is, or what that mountain is. Continuing here, so some curious tourists began to flock around that hill, and they are itching to open open all of the doors that they see. As you know, curiosity killed the cat. Do the right thing and get rid of those cats. The quest from that point is to kill 20 USECs around the mountain on woods, which is insane. Hopefully it counts as a very wide area. That is outposts on crack right there. So in a year or two, when the players that have gotten this far finish this task, they'll know what comes next. But until then, we have this information to think about. Immediately, I assumed this was Terror Group, and I'm not convinced it's not, but at the same time, USEC work for Terror Group, so why can't they get into that facility? But also on top of that, the boxes and stuff around the mountain either say Terror Group or are the same sort of stuff that you would find on labs or Terror Group facilities. It would also make sense that if Terror Group were hunting this other group that owned this facility, they would send USEC after them, so maybe that explains it. And I did learn that there are some connections between the cult and Terror Group, so since Lightkeeper is clearly connected, if not running the cult, he could be working with Terror Group. There is a lot of connections to be made here, but there's also a lot of just weird stuff happening. It's not very clear. Either way, TLDR, Lightkeeper is working with some shady people, possibly Terror Group, or a powerful group that's taken over a Terror Group facility, or have stolen a bunch of stuff from Terror Group and set up shop underneath the mountain on woods. So tinfoil hat on for this one here, and it might not even be required. A lot of you guys might actually agree with me here. I think there's a good chance that we get another woods expansion at some point that adds this secret facility, as it seems to be pretty important to the lore. And I also think it's because it's not the lab's location that we know right now, but I could be wrong. My thought process here is it would be too far away, but at the same time, there could be a massive system of tunnels underneath the entire region that links up to labs somehow. Also, we can't forget that Factory has an entrance to labs, and it is actually not that far away from the Woods Mountain. For those that don't know, whenever you spawn in the corner near the UN exit on Woods, Factory is just a stone's throw away behind you there. I'm just not sure why there would be so many doors specifically around a mountain on Woods that would lead you all the way to labs when the labs facility itself is under streets several kilometers away. So I'm thinking that there is either some kind of hub maybe, or another secret separate facility under the mountain itself, because on top of that, Lightkeeper does kind of say it is. He says, again, quoting from the quest here, they own a certain, shall we say, facility located in the natural reserve. That's Woods. He doesn't say it's an entrance to a facility, he just says it's a facility. So I think it's a separate location like labs, possibly not as high tech, but under the mountain on Woods. Please let me know what you guys think. I want to hear, we want to get some ideas on this, get some more brains on this stuff. But that's going to do it for today, guys. The story is just getting started with Lightkeeper, and it's already pretty damn spicy. Remember, if you like this video, there's a button for that. Subscribe for more like it, or jump in the comments and let me know what you think. Follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both linked below. For the latest news, check this out right here. If you like what I do with Tarkov, then chances are you're going to like what I do with Star Citizen and other games, so check those channels out right here. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.